talk about repertoire for high school bands, high school jazz bands. Many years ago, this is probably about 25 years ago, Winton was over at my house and for dinner, and he was talking about how we really need to encourage school bands to play better material. It seemed that at that time, school bands were playing a lot of TV themes and pseudo-Latin arrangements and funk charts and Michael Jackson tunes, stuff like that. And so we're really getting away from the jazz idiom and meaningful music, you know, and in band and in orchestras and schools, you know, you're playing Beethoven and all those kind of serious music, but in jazz bands it's basically the teacher would say, "So kids, what do you guys want to play?" And then say, "Oh, let's play the theme from whatever the popular TV show of the day was." Because that's all they knew. Kids don't know. And it's like, you know, asking the English teacher, what book should we read in school today? You know, well, so I got this comic book that, you know, no, it doesn't work like that. The teacher says, well, we're going to say Shakespeare, we're going to read John Steinbeck, whatever, you know, good stuff. Stuff of quality, of lasting quality and depth that enriches your life, makes you a better person, and helps you to mature. So we want to do the same thing in jazz. So Whitney and I tossed it around for a little while. How can we do this? And he said, well, we should get them to play Duke Ellington's music because once they played Ellington's music, they'd see what real solid quality writing was, and that would encourage people to want to play better things. They'd learn to play better just by playing that music, and also then in the other things, the other pieces that they would want to play, they would want to find things that were of a similar level of musical integrity. So he said, let's get them to play your transcriptions. I said, okay, I'm happy to do that. I said, but I can't see that the schools will buy it, that they'll want to spend the money. They don't know what this is, and why would... He said, well, we'll get a grant and we'll give it to them for free. I said, they probably still won't want to do it because they don't know it. He said, well, let's appeal to their football mentality, and you know, this is America, and we'll give them a $10,000 prize so that the winning band gets $10,000 for playing this music. And I said, that'll work. And that's how the Essentially Ellington program got started. This conversation, and now it's over 20 years later, and it's still going on. My question is, you know, we have 1 million kids have gone through playing through this music over the years, and we have about 1,500 schools that get the music, and a lot of schools send in, I don't know how many, maybe 200 schools send in tapes to compete in New York, and of those, 15 actually do get to New York every year. And these are very good bands and played the music very well. I mean, last year it was the winning band played a 10-minute piece, The Tattooed Bride, with no music. They played their entire 20-minute presentation. They didn't bring a piece of music on the stage with them, and they played the music terrifically. So much so, I was really moved, and Winton was so moved he was crying. The man was brought to tears because what these kids, the love that they brought to this music, and it was, wow. It's like Winton and I say, this is why we do it. So I was very encouraged, as I am every year, because every year it gets better and better when we do the Essentially Ellington program. And my question is, schools are playing the music that we send out, this Ellington music, but is it spreading to the rest of the repertoire that they play? So that gets us to the question: what is the really good repertoire that high school bands could play? There's quite a lot of it out there now. Count Basie is a great place to start. For me, Count Basie is it's easily accessible and it has the basic information that you need to play in an ensemble in jazz. Ellington's music is more complicated and more specific. Basie's music, the phrasing is generally the same. There are less things that happen that are only specific to it. In Basie's music, we have swing phrasing almost all the time, and the voicings are not that complex or specific to those charts. For me, and I think for everybody that I know that's into the Count Basie New Testament Band, which is the Count Basie band of the 50s and early 60s, the quintessential record is E = MC square, which is also known as the Atomic Basie. It's all compositions and arrangements by my old buddy Neil Hefti. And when I was in junior high and high school in the early 60s to mid 60s, this was the record. Everybody knew, all these charts. It was Splanky and Whirlybird, Kid from Red Bank, and there was a published version of a lot of those charts that came out. Teddy the Toad was another one that was on there. All this, Little Darlin', they're all on the same record. And Neil told me that he wrote the entire record in 1 week. The performances are spectacular. It's how you play in a big band. That's where you start. And if you can get those, the published versions were not. I asked Neil about it. I said, I got some of the published charts recently, and I looked through them, and they're not correct. They're not exactly what's on the record. He said, no, I had nothing to do with it. I don't know why they did that. So, but I've transcribed some of them so that, and got some original parts from some of them, so that I know I've got maybe half the record. And we played with my band, and I tell you, we play Splanky just about every gig we ever play. We always play Splanky because it's a hit with not only the audience, it's a hit with the band. We love it. It's swinging. And so I encourage. It's not hard. It's not a hard shot. We played it when I was in junior high. Our band director, the record had just come out, and he said, "Hey, this is a really great thing. I'm going to teach you how to play it." And he dictated all the parts to us, and so we played it we had no written music. We just played. It's such a simple chart, and I encourage bands, start with that. And if you can get in the Essential Ellington charts, get into that program. The charts are free. Play all those. They're great, but Atomic Basie. That's the record for me. So I'm on my way out to the Midwest. I'm going out to Wisconsin, and I'm going out to Chicago. Not Chicago. I'm going to Champaign, Illinois. I'm going to be doing some clinics with high school bands, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be there next week, and after that, everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.